welcome to After All. So today I am not wearing makeup because honestly I just couldn't be bothered with it. But it is a beautiful, beautiful spring day here in Texas. In fact, it is fucking hot. It is so damn hot. We actually bought a kiddie pool for our dogs. If you can't tell, that's Athena. And we were out there playing with them for a while. Then everybody got showers. And after being in the sun and the heat, I just didn't feel like doing anything else. So I didn't feel like doing my makeup or filming the video that I was supposed to film today. But I have been seeing that everyone's been posting like their top 5 summer or like spring palettes for 2022. So I decided to shop my stash and pick out 5 palettes that I think are what I'm drawn to this spring. So there's that. All right. One that should not be a surprise to anyone because I literally filmed a whole video talking about pastels and how I was really feeling the pastels for this year. Okay, there's something in my eye. A hair from Athena. Who else? So, you know, Natasha Denona dropped her pastel palette, and so I decided to shop my stash and try to dupe it out from what I have. And a lot of those shades were actually from this palette. So this is the first palette is the Laura Los Angeles and Candy Skies. And Erin Weaver Candy Skies palette, which I just think has all those fun pastel colors in a formula that I really enjoy. And I love this color story. It's a lot more versatile than you would think. And I am planning on having this be my next 1 week 1 palette. But I am trying to concentrate on my Panda palette for a little bit before I do that. So it's going to be on hold for a minute. But there's that. One that I'm actually shocked that I picked. If you guys don't know, I already filmed this video, but I did have a 1 week 1 palette with this palette right here. This is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. And the color story screams very spring to me. It has some pastels, color, some neutrals, but it's honestly just a really nice palette. It has a good formula. Is it my top 5? No, probably not. But I think it's a really good formula. My biggest qualm or problem with this palette is that the mattes don't pull true to color. Okay, sorry, give me a second. I'm gonna have to pause. So, in case you guys don't know, I got a new puppy. Her name's Gaia, and she is a talker. And so I've never filmed with her here with me, and she is making it a little difficult, but we're gonna power through. Anyway, my biggest issue with this palette is honestly that the mattes don't hold through color, that what you see here, and the shimmers. I don't like some of the shimmer formula, but other than that, some of the shimmers I really enjoy. Some of the others, it's the formula. The colors are actually quite beautiful, but you know, regardless of that, the color story really spring to me. And there she is again. Okay, Gaia's gonna make this difficult, but anyway, here's that. One, I just felt like I needed a little something softer, new, something, you know, easier to work with. So I decided to go with the Laura Los Angeles in Nudie number 2 palette. And I just feel like these colors are very like soft, romantic. And that's kind of what I'm feeling this summer 2022. I'm feeling like pastels, purples, pinks, just a romantic feel. Because it feels like it's okay, Gaia. It's okay, relax. Feels like we're finally like starting to get through the whole pandemic thing, and I just wanted something softer, and that's what number 2 is doing for me. So there's it. All right, the last 2 were a tussle because I was like debating quite a few palettes for the last 2. The other 3 were like I knew pretty right away I was gonna pick those. And this one's where I was not sure. But I decided to go with the Odin Size and Angelica palette and the Hella palette. Because although this is a little grungier than what you may think, I did have this in my 1 week 1 palette, which I haven't yet posted the update for it, and it's going to be a little late, but it's okay. I've played with this enough to know that some of these colors are actually quite soft, even though they can be grungy because the undertones are a little grungy, but you can definitely soften the entire look as a whole. This pinks right here do a really good job of doing that. And then you have these shade right here that are a little soft they're a little softer. You'll be surprised, but these yellows are actually quite soft. And this right here, it looks quite intense, but it's actually quite interesting. It has very unique undertones that I think make it more colorful but not overwhelming, because depending on what shades you go in your crease with, this is going to transform into something either really intense or really soft. And it's a very, very unique shade. And I think although it looks intense, some of the colors, it's actually quite a lot you can do with it in the softer, more neutral, more colorful side without being bam in your face, which I appreciate. The last one was honestly the one that I'm shocked I even picked it. It's the Jacqueline Hillix Morphe palette, the original one. I just, because this is not necessarily a palette that I think of when I think of spring. This is normally a palette that I would go for in the fall, just because it has all these like warm tones. But hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. It has some softer shades right here, some pinks, yellows, these purple, green, blues that it has over here. I love these greens right here. And even though they're a little grungier, the colorful sides are a little more bright than what I would think of for the summer, or sorry, for the spring. Clearly, I'm already thinking of summer. If you don't know, here in Texas, you have 10 months of summer and 2 months of fall. So everything else is like, it's still burning hot. It can be spring and it's hot. Like today, we had like 85, 86 degree weather. Most people, that's their summer. That's our spring, and it's cool. So I am not ready for this hot summer. But anyway, that aside, I think this colors, it can definitely be like a taupey, like, I don't know, I can see myself being drawn inspiration for spring. This was kind of out of the blue for me, but I am mad about it. I am not mad about it. I don't know what I want to do. I think I'm going to try to do a palette bingo at some point, not right now, with this palettes, and just kind of like pick one shade from each palette and see what we come up with. I think that'll be a really fun idea. But again, not today, because that's just not my vibe today. But I'm going to put in the schedule, put in the books, and we should have that video pretty soon. I think this 5 palettes, getting a bingo look with this, is going to be pretty fun. So I'm pretty excited about that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!